Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Great Axe. It's I think a staple, like a fan favorite. Everybody wants to use the Great Axe. Everybody thinks the Great Axe is great, and well, I mean it kind of is. It's potentially going to be having a nerf coming into a launch, so just keep that in mind. But I do think it's going to be a good weapon in general, and it definitely has some really good perks. So today we're going to go through that tree, and we're going to see kind of what I've been thinking about using potentially. I'm kind of using this build as a more tankier build. It also has a hatchet on the side, so it's kind of almost like a pretty good solo player's build, I would say, in both PvE and PvP. So let's get into it. All right, we're here on worldforge.gg, link in the description below. Yeah, let's look at the skill trees I decided to use. It's a pretty mixed favor inside. I did do mostly Mauler, but then some into Reaper as well. Let's just start off with Reaper here. It has a solo perk that I'm going to be using out of it, which is Reap. It's the main one. You can extend your axe 5 meters, pulling foes to you and dealing 110 weapon damage. The reason why I picked this, especially as a tank, is because you have a taunt gem compatibility. You have a Carnelian gem equipped to your great axe. This ability causes a 4-second taunt when it hits. So yeah, that's pretty nice, especially if you're going to be playing this more as a tankier build. The next one into that tree is the Collector. Reap's range is now 8 meters instead of, what was it, 5? So that's pretty nice. Hunger is the next one you'll upgrade. Heal yourself by 30% of the damage done by Reap. So again, as a tank, you're going to be taking a lot of the damage, so it'd be really nice to get 30% extra healing on you without having to rely solely on your healer. And it's also really good for solo, so you can be soloing and then use this, and then boom, you got heals. Plus, with the hatchet, Berserk, woo, good heals. And lastly is Fatal Attraction. After you pull with Reap, do a spin attack that deals 115 weapon damage, so on top of the damage already done. So that's pretty nice. Going into Mauler, the first one is Maelstrom. Love that name, by the way. It's a fast spinning attack that pulls targets closer to you and deals 100% weapon damage. Pretty nice. Going down, you'll get Storm's Reach as the next perk. It extends the reach of Maelstrom's pull range by 50%. Pretty nice. So it's kind of like this one as well. Absorb is Maelstrom's consumes all the projectiles while active. So this could be really, really good on certain phases of big bosses, parts in a dungeon, areas that potentially have a lot of range attack or mage or anything projective. You can be acting almost as like a Reinhardt with like a shield in front. You can be standing up front, we can all be in the back, and then you take in all of that, which would be kind of cool. The last one on that tree is Noble Prive. Maelstrom does an extra spin, so it's kind of like Reap in a way at the end, and it deals another 100% weapon damage, so it's pretty nice. I like some of the abilities that are kind of built into that one. The last one is Gravity Well. Everybody, I think, is on board with Gravity Well and loves Gravity Well a lot. You throw an axe to create a vortex that pulls foes into it for 3 seconds into the center. It ends with a damaging burst that deals 125% weapon damage, and the range is 10 meters. Like that burst damage is 10 meters, so it's a pretty big. The next perk down below is Crowded Well, which increases burst damage by 10% for each of the foes caught on the vortex. So I know in expeditions, there's like waves of mobs that come at you, and boom, you can just be throwing that up, and if there's like 10 of them in there, there you go. There's 100% extra damage. And the last one is Unyielding. Any allies that are standing in your well, you'll gain 20% fortify. So that's really nice. That's a nice tanky little bit of build into it and helps you out. And then now we'll look at the passives that are pretty darn good with the Great Axe, I would say. The first one I was looking at is Death's Embrace. The Great Axe attacks against foes below 50% health. You'll be able to penetrate their armor for 10%. So this is really good in a lot of the mid to upper game, especially when you're starting to like slowly tick things down and down and down. That extra 10% armor reduction is pretty key to getting some pretty good DPS on. So I think that one's just a really good one outright, comparable to some of these other ones. Like you'll get a critical hit with the Great Axe and you heal yourself for an extra 10% damage. So I'm like, it's cool, but some of these are actually pretty good, especially like pretty close up at the top. Next one on Reaper would be Keen's Edge. Its critical damage hits are increased by 10%. Again, that is something that's not, oh, here's something for only a few seconds, or oh, here's something that's a a weird percentage versus like, hey, every time you hit a critical hit, you get 10% extra damage. Like it is flat out straightforward, perfect. Feed. It heals for 10% of the damage done with the Great Axe against foes below 30% health. Again, really, really nice for lots of mobs in an area that were kind of just slowly ticking down in like maybe an expedition or anywhere in the world, and then boom, you're getting some self heals again. So super, super good. I'll go over to Mauler. First one I have is Enduring Pull. Heavy attacks with the Great Axe gain grit, making the attacks unstoppable. Perfect. A lot of people will go through with the heavy Great Axe, and it's like, okay, there we go. Finally, the damage hits. But I mean, like, sometimes you can just be doing that and then poke, you're done. So this is great. Grit for heavy attacks is a must. Gravity allows you to pull in enemy foes that you've been using any of these perks on to pull them in for 10% longer. Great. And especially when you combine it with a taunt gem. Perfect. You're gathering these guys and you're able just to own them. The next one is Center of Attention. While you hold a Great Axe, you gain 10% damage when 3 or more foes are within 4 meters of you. So again, you're using all this pull, you're holding them for 10% longer, you're getting 10% more damage. And the last one we're going to look at is Crowded Protection. While holding a Great Axe, gain 10% armor when 3 or more foes are within. So it's a perfect combo to these, and you're getting the extra protection in form of armor, and then you're also getting the extra damage output. So super awesome. And then, of course, this one has the most points in it. You have to have at least 10 points to get the ultimate unlocked in that specific row. And this one's Mauler's Fury. It's going to be the Great Axe attacks increase damage by 5% for 3 seconds with a max 10 stacks. So I think each attack is going to be gaining 5% up to a max stack of 10. So you could be using the swirly thing and you're getting an attack, technically attack hit. I think that's what it should be saying is attack hit. I don't know. Again, don't 100% quote me on this, but I think this is how it works. And if you've tested this, leave a comment down below. But every attack that is hit is an increased damage for that 3 seconds. So you could be just swirling away and you're going to get a lot of DPS output. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The Great Axe is pretty awesome. Everyone loves it. You can pretty much pair it with a lot of different combos. Again, this one's going to be more of a tank build I would potentially consider using. I don't really like using Sword and Shield. I used it in the open beta. Didn't like it too much. Great Axe seems more up my alley. Maybe Warhammer. But pairing this with a hatchet could be pretty fun, especially being a solo player. If you're going to have more time on your own, or you're going to be playing either more than your friends or a lot less than your friends, and they're not going to be able to be playing with you much, this could be definitely a good way to go. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more videos. We're going to have a lot of them coming out here soon. And thank you. See you next time and have a good one. Peace.